Near-mint condition, the home of collected editions.
That cover's so awesome.
This is Mr. Chris Claremont, a legend.
Melanie goes,
Tired.
how's it going, all you minties? Uncanny Omar here from Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions. And join me today. Not sure why I did that. I usually do this. Maybe it's because I did not want to point at anybody today. But yes, join me today as I talk about my top 10 favorite Marvel Epic Collections released in 2024. So let's go ahead and get started. There's the pointing. There's the pointing. My bad. And welcome back, everybody. Continuing the best of 2024. Today I am going to be talking about my favorite Marvel Epic Collections released in 2024 and why they were my favorites. We had a lot. I mean, considering there's like 2 to 3, sometimes 4 Epic Collections released every month. Oh my goodness, we had a lot of Epic Collections. And next year, yes, I will probably do the DC Finest because my goodness, they're also doing 4 to 5 DC Finest a month. It's insane. But we are here to talk about Marvel Epic Collections, one of my favorite formats and one of your favorite formats. Don't forget to come back every year around February or January, I can't remember when I start doing it, to do the reprint poll to see what Marvel Epics you want and vote for to get reprinted, and I send that list over to Marvel Comics. But before I go any further, smash that like button, please. That goes a long way for us here on the channel. And in this type of list, what I do is I actually put them in the chronological order of release date. So not by how much I love them, although the last one is probably my favorite release of the year of Epic Collections, if I were to pick one. All right. And don't forget to come back on Monday. I'll be doing a live stream with Peter where we are curating. So here's what we're doing. Curating our 10 Marvel issues, single issues that belong in an Ultimate Collection. So it's very similar to what Patton Oswalt, actually it's their idea, Patton Oswalt and Jordan Bloom did to create that folio book that I was really intrigued by and thought, okay, if I were to do this with a friend, what 10 issues would make it? So join us for that. That will be live on Monday. And then my top 10 reads of the year. Whew, of 2024 will be that Tuesday. All right, enough of this. Let's go ahead and start with the first choice. Marvel 2-in-1 Epic Collection Volume 2, 2 Against HYDRA. Why is this on this list? Well, because I really enjoy the series. I love the idea of bringing these lesser-known characters and popularizing them by giving you a story with Ben Grimm, old Blue Eyes. So, unfortunately, the series, what I thought was forgotten, because they did a reprint of Volume 1 in 2019, I think, and nothing. There was nothing. So 5 years, and we finally got a Volume 2. And hopefully we'll keep getting future volumes of this. And this stuff has, I mean, you got Mark Wolfman in here, you've got Roy Thomas, you got Bill Mantlo, you've got Jim Shooter, just to name a few of the creators working on this book, but also our pal Sal Buscema. And in here you're going to have guest stars like Iron Fist and Black Goliath, Nick Fury, Shang-Chi, Spider-Woman, and the Submariner. But absolutely, if you've never checked these books out, oh, it's an awesome idea of how they keep going with the story, even though each issue is like The Thing and Nick Fury, The Thing and Spider-Woman, and how they continue an ongoing story, just guest starring different folks. Yes, absolutely. I was so excited that this book finally came out this year. Avengers West Coast Epic Collection Volume 5, ULTRON Unbound. Yeah, I just talked about Spider-Woman, but not that Spider-Woman. This is Julia, not to be confused with Jessica Drew. This is the second Spider-Woman, and she is part of the main cast of characters that are in the Avengers West Coast. The reason I chose this book is because I love when no issue is left behind. This has everything from 83 to 95, and we used to have some trade paperbacks like ULTRON Unbound. However, there were missing issues. This has both of the annuals and the Dark Hawk, Uncanny Omar Talk Pretty Monday, Dark Hawk Annual #1, and then material from Iron Man Annual 13, I think, is the one that's in here. But You have War Machine in here. You've got the character of Spider-Woman, like I mentioned. And then, of course, the big crossover with Darkhawk, just to name a few of the characters. And then, of course, the build-up for what's going to happen in the next volume with Mockingbird and Hawkeye and what it could mean. And I think it's the Death Web story that's collected in here. So I love a continuation of a series that sometimes people are like, oh, did they forget about that series? No, they're continuing them. And here's your volume 7. So here's proof that they have not forgotten. And you've got the work in here of course, Roy and Dan Thomas, Dave Ross, Danny Fingeroth, Len Kaminsky, Gene Colan, Mike Manley, MC Wyman, and Herb Trimpe, just to name a few of the creators that worked on this volume. And I think we map it out, I think we need one more volume, and then eventually maybe a Force Works Epic Collection? Who knows? Although that is all part of the crossing towards the end. But anyway, I'm jumping ahead. Yes, Avengers West Coast, Volume 7. Iron Man Modern Era Epic Collection, Volume 3, World's Most Wanted. I did not forget about the modern epics. I quite enjoyed them. And I think these have been previously released as complete collections, but this is Volume 3. But it is a great start to the modern era of Old Shellhead, because here we have the Matt Fraction and Salvador La Roca run. So collecting the first 19 issues of the 2008, not 20. I thought it was 2008 series. It also introduces us to the character of Ezekiel Stain, the son of Tony's business partner, Obadiah, and what his goals are as far as Stark technology. I think it is a great jumping on point, too, for the character. So it makes perfect sense why they started with a Volume 3 instead of a Modern Era Epic Collection Volume 1. I love trying to map the missing issues together and seeing where they would fit into a Modern Era Epic. But yes, great jumping on point. It has been released in oversized hardcover, no omnis of these, but I know it's a very popular era of Iron Man, so who knows, maybe one day we'll get an omnibus. But until then, we are talking about epics. I'm sorry. That was uncalled for. I should have just said, yeah, the epics are good enough. Yeah. I told myself I would not mention omnibus, but there I go. Oh, that's twice now. Maybe I should have just stuck to the script. What the script? Anyway, yes, Modern Era Epic Collection. I think this is a great jumping on point for anybody that has been interested in the character but that doesn't want to go back to the classic stuff. But you should, because there's a lot of great stuff in there for Iron Man. Thor Epic Collection Volume 24, The Lost Gods. Now, some of this has been collected before in the Lost Gods trade paperback. This is such a unique and obscure era. I wanted people to know about this because this is in the aftermath of Onslaught. So when Marvel took the character of Thor and leased it over to Rob Liefeld and the folks over at Image. So Thor was not seen in the Marvel Universe for a year. After this is, of course, the Heroes Return era. So what they did was include stories in here of Balder and Ulick the Troll, the Warriors 3, the Enchantress, Can Sif, and a bunch of other characters that we haven't seen for a while, and just tell the stories of them dealing with coming to Midgard here, and also playing the part of gods. It's a unique story, and I thought, oh, that is a cool way to continue Thor. And they even changed the name to Journey into Mystery, so it went from Thor 502 to Journey into Mystery 503 that's collected in here. And in here, you also get the Valkyrie story and the Hercules what is it called? The Heart of Chaos miniseries. So Tom DeFalco, of course, J.M. DeMatteis, Len Wein, Ron Friends, and Mike Deodato doing a lot of the work in this epic collection. So definitely don't miss it. Even though you're like, oh, it doesn't feature Thor, the stories in here are great. New X-Men Modern Era Epic Collection, Volume 1. E is for Extinction. If you've watched the X-Men 97 series that came out in 2024, get this book if you like some of that storyline. I don't want to spoil what happens in here, but this is the beginning of Grant Morrison and Frank Quitely's team of X-Men. And we got Astonishing X-Men Volume 1 last year. I'm pretty sure that was in my top 10 list. If it wasn't, it's why then I add it. But now is your chance to go back and see where the team was kind of revamped. Then this leads into the new the Astonishing X-Men series. Grant Morrison came in and changed a lot of things. And to me, Morrison's run is very, very much like a roller coaster. So kind of like their JLA run where it's just ups and downs of like, oh my gosh. But the E for Extinction story, oh, one of the best X-Men stories ever. Like, seriously, it is dark and deep and powerful. And the Shi'ar story that's in here is also pretty solid, too. Plus, we get, you know, introductions to Cassandra Nova, the Cuckoo, the Stepford Cuckoos, that's what their full names are. But anyway, that's just to name a few of the things that are happening in this collection. Defenders Epic Collection Volume 2, The Headmen. Now, when I announced the Defenders Omnibus, people were like, oh, there goes all the epics. There goes our chance of getting the epics. They're just going to focus on the later part of the story and epic collection with the new Defenders. And then, of course, we've had the masterworks of the stuff. So yeah, people started losing faith. And then we got Volume 1, and they were like, okay. And then there wasn't a Volume 2 for a little bit, but here we are with Volume 2 that came out this year. And I think the stories in here by Len Wein, and then, of course, later on, Steve Gerber, are just some really creative things that we're doing back then during this particular era of the mid-70s. You know, keep in mind, this is like right before Giant Size, I think. Giant Size #1, which changed a lot of the way people told stories. But Steve Gerber's stuff in here is just way ahead of its time. Plus, you get interesting characters in here like Nighthawk, who isn't your typical Defender type of character, but completely fits in. Plus, if you're an X-Men fanatic, this is the story that has the Magneto story with the mutant Alpha, where Magneto's turned into a baby. And then later on, they talk about it in Uncanny X-Men because it's a Marvel universe. It's all connected. So yeah, not just Defender fans, but also for X-Men fans. There you go. They did not forget about going back to the beginning, and hopefully we will keep getting more Defenders to start closing those gaps and start finishing that series. And then we can get like Secret Defenders. And what was the Deadpool and the Defenders series or something like that? No, that was all part of the Secret Defenders. Anyway, yes, Volume 2. She-Hulk Epic Collection Volume 6, To Die and Live in LA. As much as I love books that are coming back like Marvel 2-in-1 and the Defenders that I thought they forgot about, I also love when we get stuff that has never been collected in omnibus format in any kind of trade paperback. And the majority of the stuff in here has never been collected in any kind of collected edition. So you have the ending of that She-Hulk run. Remember when she promised she was going to rip up our X-Men? If we stop buying her book, well, here she fulfills her promise. You have stuff in here by Scott Benson. You've got the Peter David issues in here when Hulk was missing for a little while. What is that? Incredible Hulk 441 and 442. You've got Michael Urie's stuff in here, Pat O'Leaf, and then, of course, even some early Dan Slott in there. So not only does it collect the final part of She-Hulk's run, but you also get like the Doc Samson miniseries, which is again never been collected, and then like the Incredible Hulk issues where she appears, because after her series was over with issue number 60, we don't see Jennifer for a long time. So what they did was actually collect the stories where she takes kind of a big role in. And that's why I think it definitely belongs on the list. And if you've been getting the Omnis, yeah, this stuff has not been collected in omnibus format outside of those 2 issues of Peter David's Incredible Hulk. Avengers Epic Collection Volume 13, Seasons of the Witch. So to all the people that had the Absolute Vision trade paperbacks, holding on to those, now you can start letting go of some, because yes, Marvel is going to fill those gaps of Uncle Roger's run. We are talking about the Roger Stern era of Avengers, but not just him alone, right? I mean, John Buscema's in there, and so is our pal Sal, Al Milgrom. And then, of course, the team with this new character, the new Captain Marvel, Monica Rambeau. You've got characters like Star Fox and She-Hulk and Thor and, of course, Captain America and the Wasp filling up the ranks. This is also when Clint in this collection meets Mockingbird. And I think it's great that like those little miniseries are going to be collected in these epic collections. So this is definitely for people that love Avengers and have never had a chance to read Roger Stern's run in Avengers. Another one that has never been collected in omnibus format. I promise, I'm just saying that it's... I didn't tell you to go buy the omnibus. I'm just saying it's not collected in omnibus format for people that are waiting. Here it is. You might as well take a chance and read it. Now, I think we're still missing Volume 12. We had a Volume 11. I think we're still missing Volume 12. But now we got Volume 13, and hopefully they'll start closing those gaps too with Avengers. Because, I mean, these things have been coming out for 11, going on 12 years now. So I think we need to start wrapping up and closing those runs up and then focusing on modern era. Anyway, that's my thoughts. Spider-Girl Modern Era Epic Collection Volume 5, Keeping the Faith. Oh man, we were so heartbroken when they canceled the Spider-Girl Complete Collection Volume 5. But as soon as they started doing Modern Era Epic Collections, I thought, okay, please one of them be Spider-Girl. Maybe Spider-Girl can become a Epic Collection. But they decided to do a Modern Era Epic Collection and reprint the Volume 1 of the Complete Collection as a Modern Era Epic Collection. But for all of us that bought the Complete Collections and have been waiting for Volume 5, here it finally is. Yes, it doesn't have the trade dress that the Complete Collections did, but we do have it in Modern Era Epic Collections. And hopefully they will reprint Volumes 2 and 3 and 4 to go along with these and then eventually wrap up the series. I do find it interesting that Spider-Girl is part of the Modern Era Epic Collection, considering that the series started in 1998, and then some Modern Era doesn't start until like the early aughts. So I'm trying to figure out exactly how they're mapping this as far as the entirety of the Marvel Universe. And it's a lot of fun to try to guess where some of these stories are going to start in Modern Era Epic Collection. But yes, Spider-Girl is here, Volume 5. And if you've never read this, check out Volume 1. Oh man, the story of May Parker is so awesome. It is a throwback to those classic eras of Spidey, like when it was just Peter Parker with building slowly his supporting cast. So yeah, like a throwback to that Silver and Bronze Age era. And last but certainly not least, X-Men Epic Collection Volume 10. God Loves, Man Kills. Are you kidding me? Of course I'm going to put this on the list. It is my favorite X-Men story of all time. It is my very first X-Men comic I ever got. And you've got the Wolverine miniseries in here. Forget it. This is a banger of a book. Now, I will say, for people that are collectors or for people that like to read them as they originally were released, this does have the new scans from the God Loves, Man Kills Gallery Edition. And ever since then, the derogatory term that was used in the original comic has been censored. So it's been blacked out. So just keep that in mind for people that are like, oh, I wanted to... But I mean, honestly, I think I've said this before. Most smart people can figure out what the word is, but I did want to say that it was censored in this version too. So I think moving forward, they're probably just going to leave the word out, as they have in other reprints. But if you've never read this era with the Wolverine miniseries with Frank Miller, and then of course Paul Smith drawing from the Ashes storyline, introducing us to the character of Madeline Pryor, all the way to issue 175, which is a big payoff issue that also has the very first few pages of John Romita Jr. as the new ongoing artist. Plus you get God Loves, Man Kills, and the material from the official handbook of the Marvel Universe. Oh, this is the book of seriously, the epic of the year. I love the stories in here. I love the art in here. And it is what got me into X-Men and solidified my relationship with these characters. To even though I strayed away sometimes, I always keep coming back because of books like this. Now, if you're interested in any of the books I talked about today, check out our sponsors. BD Cosmos, the Canadian leader in graphic novels. They have a physical storefront in Montreal, Quebec, and their website, bdcosmos.com, offers 25% off your order of over $99 or more, and free shipping everywhere in Canada for every order of $200 or more.
Their shipping care is exceptional. Your books will stay cozy through the rough Canadian weather and arrive to you in near mint condition.
After checkout, let them know Near Mint Condition sent you their way, and you'll be added to the monthly $25 gift card raffle. Entries are valid for new and returning customers.
Don't be afraid to call or email them. Ask them questions. Their staff is always happy to help guide you towards the right purchase. Visit their website, bdcosmos.com, for more. BD Cosmos, with rewards and raffles taking care of customers in Canada. Eh?
CheapGraphicNovels.com, your online home for graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off cover price. They have excellent shipping and prompt and helpful service. Check out their bargain deals for up to 90% off cover price. And don't forget that CGN also takes pre-orders. That way you don't miss out on the hottest releases. And they are currently running a special promotion for you Minties. If you're a first-time customer, after receiving your order confirmation email, reply back to that email and let them know Near Mint Condition sent you their way. They will then apply a free shipping promotional credit to your next order in the US. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discount, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more. And that was my top 10 Marvel Epic collections released in 2024. In the comments down below, let me know what your top 1, your top 5, your top 10, top 7, whatever it is that you want to list. Leave it in the comments down below. Let me know what you were excited for, what you thought, oh my gosh, I can't believe we've got an epic collection, or I can't believe this close to this gap, or I've been waiting years for this, I thought they forgot about the series, whatever it is. Please leave it in the comments down below. Smash that like button on the way out. Make sure you subscribe. We put out videos every day, sometimes 2 or 3, and continuing the best stuff with Monday's video again with Peter M. So come back to the channel. That will be a live video for the top 10 Marvel comics that belong in a collection. It can be single issues from across the board. Oh, it's going to be such a great, fun war. Because he gets to pick 10 and I get to pick 10, but only 10 can make it. Oh, and then the audience gets involved. Oh, it's always a blast. And then my favorite reads of the year. And then, of course, I kick off the new year with my top 30 most anticipated releases of 2025. And they've got some good books coming in 2025. But that's it, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for being a huge part of the channel. Check us out on Patreon and Spreadshop. Amazing ways to support the channel. Stay healthy and safe out there. Much love.